Social Security benefits for 2024 has seniors across the nation deeply concerned. In fact, the average Social Security benefit once the bigger COLA increase actually sets in for retirees that are age 62 and above will surprise you. In fact, Social Security 2024 increases has angered some Americans. It's wild. Now, sure, it might seem like a significant bump at first glance, but we're going to dive deeper into the five main issues that have seniors literally just ringing alarm bells. In fact, the time has come, guys. The time has come for us, the people, to unite and actually take our concerns directly to the heart of Washington and to the voting booths. The presidential elections coming up for 2024. Are you guys ready? Listen to what they're saying, but even more importantly, watch and pay attention to what they're doing and what they're not doing. So if you are or will be receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, or any of these fixed income benefits, you're going to want to hear about these very unexpected changes that are coming to Social Security that has a lot of people very upset. I mean, it's astounding just how many citizens are rallying for these issues that benefit only a select few people. But when it comes to addressing the concerns of the vast majority, particularly those, in their most vulnerable stages of life, their response seems to be lackluster. Now, if you guys appreciate the updates, please do me a quick favor. Hit the like button for the video. And if you'd like to see more updates like this one about issues that actually matter to you, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you guys can hear me, please just drop a quick comment down below. Let me know if you're able to see and hear me okay. A lot of you guys have commented on the new look. Let me know what y'all think about that too. So Acting Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, Kalolo Kajazi, read aloud from the document during this hearing that took place, but repeatedly left out an entire category of beneficiaries displayed on the paper as well. In fact, the document indicates the fallout from Social Security payments, and the clawbacks is much wider than what Kalolo Kajazi had previously reported and acknowledged under direct questioning from a House Ways and Means subcommittee that oversees the federal agency. So a lot of people are like, well, why did she lie? That's a big question. Why did she lie? Voters say President Biden, or, he misled or even shamelessly lied to Americans by claiming Social Security and Medicare are part of their demands to agree to raise the debt ceiling earlier this year. Furthermore, the anger and the disappointment just doesn't even stop there. In fact, this is just tip of the iceberg. We're just now scratching the surface, guys. Retired seniors who have dedicated their lives and in many cases served their country, they're feeling betrayed. These people, they are feeling like the recent COLA raise, this COLA increase, has been described as being a slap in the face. And it just highlights the disconnect between lawmakers and the very people that they're supposed to represent. Because you got to remember, most of these lawmakers, they're wealthy individuals. They're making seven figures a year, $1 million per year income. The average lawmaker that represents you is a millionaire. And while there's nothing wrong with building $1 million net worth or having $1 million or being a millionaire, mastering the habits of millionaires, the simple fact of the matter is that if the average congressman or woman is a millionaire, do they really represent you and understand the concerns that you deal with? Now, if you think that the average millionaire, congressman, or woman who's in office understands your struggle, just comment yes. And if you feel like the average millionaire, congressman, or woman that's in office has no clue what you're going through, just comment, fire them all. I'd love to hear from you guys on that one. Now, instead of prioritizing the well-being of retirees, it appears that political agendas and self-interests are taking precedence. Now, this sentiment is shared very deeply, across the board. Let's just say that. It's got a lot of people frustrated. And totally disabled Vietnam War veterans, U.S. Marine Corps veterans who believe that an increase in Social Security benefits is just it's not a request, it's a necessity. And a lot of people are also getting pissed off. They're getting literally teed off about these entitlements. Since when is Social Security an entitlement? The last time I looked at my paycheck stub, this was a tax. So since when is an entitlement a tax? And that's like saying you live in your house because you've been paying a mortgage, and that's an entitlement, not a right to live in the home that you've been paying for. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. If you've been paying your mortgage, you deserve to own the house that you've purchased. Plain and simple. Now, of course, the struggle continues for a lot of retirees who face the harsh reality of these unmet needs that the Social Security Administration continues to under-provide or under-support. The inability to afford basic needs, dentures, due to insufficient funds, insufficient benefits. It's a stark reminder of the challenges that are faced by a lot of senior citizens right now. Now, we have nearly 500 people in this live right now. I really appreciate the support, you guys. You have no idea. I really, really do appreciate that. If half of you guys could drop a quick like for the video, I would totally appreciate that. It only takes a second. But let's also not forget about the issue of double taxation, right? And the sad fact of the matter here is they're not just double taxing the wealthy. In fact, a lot of people feel like the wealthy demographic, the wealthy segment of America, six-figure net worth individuals, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure net worth individuals aren't paying their fair share. And I'm not even going to tackle that issue today. But it is a little bit disheartening to see retirees being taxed on their Social Security income, especially when they've already contributed throughout their working lives. Now, I'm not a retiree, clearly. I'm not eligible to receive Social Security yet, but I'm not going to ignore the fact that this is a problem. And this will be a problem for people in my age group at, some point in time down the road. But the double taxation raises legal questions, and it really just kind of echoes like past concerns about taxation on federal excise tax. Now, it begs the question, why does the government permit this to happen to our retirement checks? Why? The dissatisfaction among retirees is just palpable, and for good reason. The recent COLA raise has left a lot of people feeling shortchanged. And here's just some of the reasons why people are a little bit pissed off and feeling shortchanged, almost robbed of their Social Security benefits. And I'm not talking about a cyber attack here. I'm not talking about, seeing your Bank of America or your Chase bank account wiped out because of a cyber attack. They're saying that the Social Security Administration just didn't pay them enough. Now, this could be for a variety of reasons. And I see you guys going off in the comments here. I got Mayhill here. I got Sharon Husby, Daryl 524. I've got Richard Zucker, Sandra Harth. Republic Now is clearly angry, looking at the emojis. So firstly, the calculation for the COLA raise appears to be based on take-home pay rather than the gross amount. So that's the first issue. Y'all know the difference between the take-home pay and the the gross pay? Comment down below if you guys are familiar with that. If you're not, I'll cover that and kind of break it down if you're not aware of the differences between those two. But if we subtract the Medicare costs from the gross amount before determining the raise, it's left a lot of retirees like you guys, frustrated, confused, perplexed. But this new calculation method that they're using, which might seem a little bit unfamiliar, has resulted in raises that are way less than expected. So with some retirees receiving as little as $38 extra in terms of the increase that they were expecting compared to the anticipated increase of $50, let's just say, in that particular example. Now, I actually spoke to a woman just earlier last week she said that she's getting an extra $300 per month from Social Security. So let me know how much you guys are expecting or getting more from Social Security for the 2024 COLA increase. I'd love to hear from you guys. I got Greg Grabitz in here saying that his rent went up $300 since Biden. Wow, $300 a month. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen significant rent increases, even to this day. You know, they're saying that the property taxes are a little bit less now. Excuse me. They're saying property taxes are increasing. They're saying that homeowners insurance is increasing. States like Florida, California, New York, Texas, Georgia, North and South Carolina, and Virginia, Chicago. Chicago's a city, but there's certain pockets of the United States that are seeing explosive homeowners insurance increases. And, you know, especially a lot of the coastal locations. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Allstate Insurance, not Travelers, Allstate Insurance, State Farm Insurance, Nationwide Insurance, possibly got kind of like wiped out with all these different homeowners related claims that came in after the hurricanes. So pretty much any insurer that had a lot of properties insured, you know, real estate, home and residential, even commercial properties devastated by some of these catastrophic natural disasters and hurricanes, they were writing out billions of dollars in claims. So what did this do? This made everyone's homeowners insurance go up, whether you filed a claim or not. And I understand the game. I understand the business behind insurance. I understand. But it just doesn't feel fair to me that if I don't file an insurance claim, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic here, going on a tangent, but if I don't file a homeowner's insurance claim for like 5 years, 10 years, but still every year my homeowner's insurance policy premium increases, I personally feel it's not fair. So you guys let me know if you feel me on that or if you disagree. You know, either way, it's cool. By the way, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. There is a link in the description down below this video and in the pinned comment. It takes like 10 seconds, guys. So click the link, get your free home warranty quote. My mom literally is getting her water heater. She's probably watching the show right now. Hey, Mom. She's getting her water heater, hot water heater replaced. And, you know, cool thing is the warranty company is covering it, so she ain't got to worry about it. So I don't know how much a water heater is, you know, because I haven't had to buy one, but I want to say a water heater. And you guys let me know how much a water heater is. I want to say they're probably at least $1,000. So that was one thing that, you know, she didn't have to worry about. So anyway, a typical plan covers heating systems, ducts, plumbing systems, electrical systems, water heaters, kitchen appliances, garbage disposals, you name it. It's more than likely covered. But hit the link in the description down below. Get your free home warranty quote. Takes like 10 seconds, and there you go. So anyway, so this new COLA calculation method, which might seem a little bit unfair, has resulted in raises that are a lot less than expected. I mean, some people got $38 raises instead of $50. Some people got $300 raises instead of like $380. So I see a lot of you guys sharing your details here. Okay, Donald says $900 or more. Bernard Andrews says $1,200. Okay, here we go. Toby Levere. My rent went up $37 and my raise went up $20. So now I'm behind $17. And see, this is the problem that a lot of Americans are going through. Sure, you got a raise, may even got an extra $500 a month. But if your expenses went up an extra $650 a month, are you really getting ahead? You know, basic math says no. So, yeah, Richard Zucker says tankless water heaters are expensive. Yes, they are, especially expensive when everything else around you is going up, and that's an unexpected household repair that needs to be made. Otherwise, you're going to be taking some cold showers and washing your dishes in cold water, washing your clothes in cold water. I'm not really up for the cold showers unless I'm doing like a cold water plunge, but I would rather choose to do that versus having no choice. Oh wow, you guys are going off. Karen Newsom says $700 to $1,000. Bought one this year. I guess you're talking about your water heater. Thank you so much. Vincent Kaizo says, "Yep, $1,000." So a lot of you guys apparently. I mean, I don't know why you would know how much a water heater costs unless you had to buy one for yourself, or maybe you were helping somebody else get their water heater replaced. So definitely get that home warranty quote. Takes like 10 seconds. No harm, no foul, no risk on that one. Anyway, Bella Odell, I appreciate you. You are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much for the super chat. You definitely didn't have to, but I totally appreciate it. You are awesome. So yeah, it's no wonder why so many people are voicing their disappointment, as the shift appears to really just be undervaluing the contributions and the needs of retirees. You know, it's funny how much they don't teach you in school. They don't, when I was in grade school, we heard about Social Security and how it would take care of you. They weren't talking about investing in mutual funds and index funds and building and investing in real estate, creating passive income streams through anything other than retiring and living off of a pension, which most jobs don't offer anymore, or living off of Social Security, SSI, SSDI types of benefits. So it's like they're almost setting a lot of people up for failure. I think they're doing a little bit better now, but I think a lot of people growing up in society are just educationally underprepared to handle the financial stresses of life. In fact, just basic insurance. A lot of people are walking around with no life insurance. What would happen if God forbid, what would happen if anything happened to a spouse and maybe they cover, or maybe their income covers for 50% or more of the household income? Think about how bad financially. Forget about the emotions of losing anyone. Think about the financial impact of not having life insurance, and the breadwinner, the main breadwinner of the house, something awful happens. But these are some things that I feel like should be discussed early in school. Don't rely on Social Security. I tell my kid that now. Yeah. So anyway, in a recent Atticus report, a staggering 62% of seniors aged 62 years old and above expressed their concerns about dissatisfaction with the 2024 cost of living COLA. Well, doesn't take a genius to figure that out. I don't think they had to spend thousands of dollars to run this stupid report. Just read the comments. People are pissed off with this COLA increase. So, seniors are facing this uphill battle right now with nearly 3 out of 5 people struggling financially, and a whopping 70% of single seniors grappling with the limitations of their existing Social Security income. But the real shocker lies in the potential consequences of this meager COLA boost. Around 40% of seniors are now considering going back to the workforce. 40% of seniors are now considering seeking employment to make ends meet due to the insufficient increase. Now, for single seniors, the figure is even worse. 47% of people are contemplating employment to supplement their incomes. Now, who here wants to go back to work if you're retired? I'm just wondering. If you want to go back to work, just type I'd love to get a new job. Now, if you love to stay retired, just say stay retired. Because I'm just thinking, like, that's a rude awakening to think you're retired. You didn't had a retirement party and whatnot. Maybe you haven't been working for years. Then all of a sudden you have to go back to work because you don't have enough. You're not bringing in enough income from Social Security to survive off of it. That's a massive problem. That's a major financial problem. And think about this, because a lot of people, I haven't heard anybody talking about this. Imagine 40% of 40% of retirees are thinking about getting a new job, right? 47% of single retirees are considering getting a new job. That means that's like very close to 50%. Now, think about this, guys. 2024, they're talking about a recession coming. They've been preparing for this recession for the longest time, all these warnings and whatnot, right? Well, what happens in a recession? A recession, generally speaking, there's a lot of layoffs, jobs lost, right? Love Buzz 1111 says, I want a new job also. I'm ready, kind of. That's funny. Um, Jesse says, new job. So, what happens when there's a recession? And I say when, not because I'm a pessimistic person, I'm just a realist. And economic cycles are like the seasons. I know that there's going to be summer again. It's winter right now, but summer will come back, right? And then after summer, there's going to be fall and winter and spring, and the cycle keeps going, right? Well, with the economic cycles, it's the exact same way. Recessions come. However, how long the recession lasts for and how long you have in between, one recession to the next will vary. But recessions are a natural part of the economy and the economic cycle. Ask Ray Dalio, ask Peter Schiff, ask, Warren Buffett or any of these, So the simple fact of the matter is that if there's a recession in 2024 and layoffs start taking place, and because the COLA increase was so small, increases, property taxes go up, rent goes up, cost of food goes up, gas goes up, every expense you can think of goes up. Well, don't you think that more and more retirees are going to be forced back into the workforce right at the time where people are getting laid off and there's more people looking for jobs? So imagine, I'm not trying to paint a bleak picture, but I'm trying to share information so that you guys can be prepared. I'm not trying to scare anybody. That's not the goal here. We're just having a conversation and we're talking about the realities of today and what could be coming down the pipeline, what could be coming around the corner in the future. It's just a conversation. Nothing I say is set in stone to happen. I'm not God. God knows what's coming. I don't know. So, but what I think could happen, and this is why we should all prepare, save money, have extra food and water and, have a plan, have a backup plan, right? But what I'm saying is if a recession happens in 2024 and you already have a lot of seniors that are literally on the border, not the US Mexico border. You got seniors that are literally borderline thinking about getting back in the workforce. So imagine 2024 happens and then a recession hits and then there's layoffs. And then, so in other words, everyone who's been laid off is likely looking for a new job because we're not going to have any kind of Biden unemployment insurance boosts like we saw during COVID because they ain't got the money for that. Well, technically they do have the money because they're always sending our money to Ukraine. So theoretically, if they really wanted to give a boost, if there's like some massive wave of layoffs, technically the government could just print more money, still send money to the Ukraine and also send us a bigger unemployment check like they did during, back in the pandemic days. But anyway, let's not depend on that. Let's not assume that that's going to happen, right? So imagine hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people get laid off. All those people are going to be looking for new jobs because the unemployment checks are very small compared to most people's income. So people aren't going to really want to live off of unemployment. If you get in if you make $2,000 a week and your unemployment check's 300, you're going to want to get a job pretty quickly. So everyone who theoretically got laid off is likely looking for a new job. So that's going to be a lot of people theoretically. What's up, Cash Ryan? I see you, man. So that's a lot of people hitting the job market. Now imagine all of these retirees who have been out of the workforce suddenly decide to come into the workforce because all of these expenses are so much higher. Groceries, gas, rent's going up. Your mortgage payment could go up. If your homeowner's insurance or your property taxes or both goes up, your mortgage payment's going up. So imagine all of these people looking for a job. That could be a tremendous problem. And that would also theoretically drive wages down. because it's all based on supply and demand. If you have a significant amount of people available to work a particular type of job, well, they're not going to, employers are not going to have to be as competitive with the pay, because they'll say, hey, you can have this job, or the other 50 people who are beating down our door sending in resumes and filling out applications would gladly take this job for less money. So then corporations could literally just take advantage of a horrible situation and pay someone who maybe used to make 60 grand a year, pay him 50. I'm just saying. So anyway, hopefully things don't get that bad, but I'm just saying, if they do, you always want to be prepared for whatever happens. Anything can hit the fan, and you never know when it will hit the fan. So it's always just better to be prepared, right? So of course the issues don't stop there. So while this 3.2% adjustment in Social Security benefits, it acknowledges inflation, it still falls dramatically short when faced with the relentless rise in essential living costs like utilities, healthcare, food, all the things we talked about. The disconnect, though, between the COLA increase and the seniors' everyday expenses is evident. But your lawmakers in office don't seem to care. And if they do care, let me know. But from where I sit, it just seems like they don't care. I'm just going to leave it there. So, so anyway, so what's the average Social Security benefit at age 67? Well, only about 14% of retirees claim Social Security at their full retirement age in 2022, last year. But those that did were rewarded with higher payouts. But a lot of people aren't willing to wait till they're 67 to get the full payout, to reach full retirement age. Some people are afraid that, well, what if I die before receiving or getting the full retirement age? I don't want to let the government just keep all my money, right? Because there's no guarantee you make it to 67. But if you take your retirement benefits at age 62, then the benefits are a lot smaller. The average 67-year-old Social Security beneficiary received $1,844.83 a month from the program in 2022. So the average 67-year-old Social Security retiree got a $1,844 check. So that works out to about $22,000 a year. And it's an increase from the average monthly Social Security benefit for retirees who turned 62 last year, which came in at around $1,274. Are you guys getting any kind of Social Security checks anywhere near that amount? Almost, for some people, it seems high. For some people, it seems low. Because some people are getting a $4,900 monthly Social Security check. But it's not a lot of people getting that much. But, some people are hitting those numbers. So a financial advisor recently pointed out the flaws in the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, and the CPIE, which is more tailored for the elderly, reflects their spending habits a little bit better, emphasizing costs like healthcare that significantly impacts seniors. And, the healthcare expenses continue to soar, putting a lot of pressure on seniors' finances. And it makes sense, right? You're on a fixed income. Your health isn't probably not improving the older you get. So your healthcare expenses probably go up right at a time where everything else is going to get more expensive. It's a mess. So I think that this is why a lot of people are just getting to the point where they're like, look, if you don't support us, we ain't voting for you guys. And the voter base for seniors is very big. It's very big. So I almost think that they're forced to have to make some big changes in the way of Social Security increases, Social Security reform. And here's something I want to talk to you guys about. A lot of people are talking about this population situation. Oh, they're trying to get rid. What was it? They're trying to reduce the population. Have you guys heard about this? Just comment down below if you've heard about any kind of World Economic Forum population reduction, or the WEF wants to get rid of people, or Maybe the government wants to get rid of people. I don't know what you've heard, but let me know if you've heard anything about population reduction. Because I have a theory that is contrary to that. First of all, Social Security is funded by those who are still working. I mean, it's funded by people who did work and they're now retired, right? But Social Security was funded by people who worked, right? So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know, but I covered this on the other channel, the Truth Exposed channel. I almost forgot the name of my other channel. And you guys could check this out on, I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below for the other channel, Truth Exposed. So anyway, on Truth Exposed, I covered how much the American birth rate is declining. The American birth rate is falling, and it's a little bit concerning. China's seeing it. I don't know if you guys are aware how, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware because you're smart, but China had this one child birth policy for years. I don't know how long they had it, maybe 20 years or so. So anyway, they had too many people. So they were literally trying to reduce the population, and they were doing it not by killing people off, but they were doing it by limiting how many children a family could birth. And so basically it made them all want to have male kids, male babies, and they literally didn't want the daughters. It was weird. Anyway, they're trying to get their population under control. Well, they almost did it too well, because now their birth rate is to a point where the population is declining. And as more and more people get older, the population is going to continue to decline at a faster clip. And I cover this in detail on the other channel, Truth Exposed, link in the description down below, if you guys want to check this out. And here's the other thing that's making it even worse. And I'm going to bring it back to America, to the United States, for why it matters to us. So during this one child policy, it really changed how a lot of people thought about having kids, and it made people a little bit more selfish over there. And basically they became less about having family and more about what else could make them happy. Since they can't have a big family, they're only limited to one kid. So people ended up delaying having kids longer. Some people never even had kids, and the desire to even have kids declined. So more and more females were like, I don't even want to be a mom. I just want to be free. I don't want any obligations. I don't want this added burden. I don't want to have to carry kids, worry about daycare, be a single mom, and have to deal with all these single mom problems and stuff like that. And so it literally changed the culture in China to a point where they are now concerned and worried about this declining population. Now, the United States is actually beginning to face a similar problem, but not nearly as aggressively as China is dealing with this problem right now. And it's only going to get worse for China for the next 80 years. Now, if we here in the United States are experiencing the same problem, again, our American birth rate is not as bad as China's, but it's not growing, and it's actually declining. So if fewer people are being born, then our population is going to decline. Well, what do you think is going to happen with Social Security then? You're going to have fewer people working and fewer people paying into the Social Security system, and it's going to have an even bigger negative effect on anyone who's retired, because the people who are working are supposed to be paying for the people who aren't working. They're retired. So the problem only gets even worse. So a lot of people are like, so the people who used to always say to me, and a lot of you guys say in the comments still, they're worried about population reduction and stuff like that. I don't think so. I think honestly, they would rather people have more kids. Part of it is for the Social Security reason, because if you have more people being born, then there's more workers theoretically, and more workers equals more income for the Social Security Ponzi scheme that we have going on. So that's one reason why I think that they would actually want more people rather than to reduce the population. Another reason would be is if you look at the military recruitment rate, it's it's underwhelming. They're missing their numbers constantly, right? So we got all these different wars. We got Ukraine, we got Russia, we got this proxy war between Ukraine and Russia. You got this standoff between the U.S. and China over Taiwan. You got Israel, Hamas, United States funding Israel. So resources are going a whole lot of different ways, and the the GDP for the United States is actually declining, which is basically the income for the country. So that's not a good thing. Meanwhile, all these expenses are continuously climbing. And you also have higher interest rates for which the United States national debt is paying more interest on. So we've raised the interest rates on ourselves. Our income in the form of GDP is declining. And we keep finding our ways into more and more wars, which cost more and more American taxpayer money. And we have a declining American birth rate. So it's a lot of factors going against us right now. And it's like, I don't think that they're trying to get rid of people, because that would make every problem that we're dealing with even worse. Appreciate the cut, Bupa. So here's another thing. You want to know why they're not closing the borders? Who here wants to know why they're not shutting the borders down? And I'm going to give you a very unofficial response to that. Well, number one, do you think we should shut the borders down, or should we keep them open? Got all these mysterious viruses coming up and whatnot, right? Sleeper cells entering the country, staying here, and, all right. Well, Ripe Burcombe says cheap labor. Cool. That's a good reason. Military aged man, army. Ron, please let us know. All right. So I think if you don't shut the borders and you let more people in, that's one way to address your dwindling population problem. Is it the best way to address it? I don't know. It's a way to address it. I mean, if you think about it, everyone here in America is an immigrant. For the most part, if you look at your lineage, 90% of people who live in America are not from America. If you go back far enough. So I'm not saying like entering the country illegally is a good thing to do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you look at it, most people through their lineage came here from another country. Anyway, if we have a dwindling U.S. population and you need to hurry up and bump those numbers up, well, what's one of the fastest ways you can do it? Invite people over. Like, if you had a party at your house and you didn't want the party to end because you're still having a great time and you're feeling like partying until like the sun comes back up, but everyone's going home, right? Well, what do? Well, you invite more people. And that's kind of like how the United States is right now. If our American birth rate is declining and you need more people, and you need more people paying into Social Security, and you need more people ready, willing, and able to fight for the country, because military recruitment rates are at pretty much like, all-time lows, or at least recent lows, you invite more people over. And I wouldn't be surprised if they said something like, hey, come on over, fight for our country, and we'll give you citizenship. I'm just saying, it's an idea, and it's a possibility. Fight for our country, we'll give you benefits, we'll give you Social Security, we'll give you, fight for our country, work these jobs that some Americans aren't willing to work doing at the pay rates that people aren't willing to work for, fills the unemployment gap, starts funding Social Security. I'm just saying, these are some hypotheses that I've been thinking about that make more sense. This dude says, I favor Eddie Murphy. I don't know. I don't know if I favor Eddie Murphy, but maybe I do, maybe I don't. I haven't seen that dude in a long time. I don't even know what he looks like now. But yeah, I don't think that they're trying to kill us off like that. Um, there's always an alternative agenda, but I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys, see what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on that subject. Why do you think they leaving the borders open? Does any of what I discussed with you guys today make sense to you? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Hit me up in comments. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, drop a like for the video, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.